Hello traders, this is Rich from tradesight. Here's a look at our market leading stocks for the coming session. This is going to be for Tuesday, January 6th, 2014. We have here is a condition of kind of mixed indications between the buys and sells. We do have a fair amount of downside CPSs after today's trouncing of the averages, but we do have some offsetting signals to the buy side here. So what we have is kind of an unclear picture for tomorrow. We do have a couple of volume bumps here. Apple picked up volume on the way down. We had a volume bump in First Solar. That one closed very weakly with the downside CPS. That was one of the shorts that we initiated early this morning. We shorted that under 43.27, taking home a nice winner there with that stock closing well below $42. Also had a volume bump here in Qualcomm, an upside indication, and a volume bump in SanDisk and Netflix. Moving on to the financials, don't have that buffering on the buy side that we saw on the NASDAQ patch. We're fully loaded here with downside CPS. We've got a number of deviations here and also a fair amount of volume bars. So keep an eye on this sector tomorrow for follow through. This will probably wind up dictating trade tomorrow for the broad market, since this is such an important, such a well represented sector. The energy names were very, very weak. We had crude breaking $50 today. You can see the weakness in the energy sector across the board. Look at all these open close deviations. A lot of weakness there, and also some pickups in volume. So some of the bottom fishers from the end of last year are already being tested here very, very early in 2015. Market generals look more like the NASDAQ patch did, with some buys and some sells, but we are a bit slanted to the sell side, definitely more so than the NASDAQ side yesterday. Caterpillar very, very weak today on good volume. Comcast had a volume bump and a downside CPS. Got a volume bump in Coca-Cola, no indication there in 3M. And UNH also had a downside volume bump today. Housing names, upside RPSs for the most part. So these could be an interesting long play for tomorrow. So keep an eye out. If we do have market direction to the upside, I would definitely focus on the housing sector. Transports notably weak today, with even under the cover of lower energy prices. These are starting to fatigue. Kind of the one thing that we've been kind of disconnected here between the transports and the energy names. They're actually both late cycle sectors, and they generally tend to perform together. And when they get disconnected like this, it's usually something notable. So I wouldn't be surprised to see these reconnect and to see some weakness creep into these transports. So I would definitely be focusing on these, at least for the rest of this week, and see what develops here in transports. And the commodities, mostly weaker today, as you can see. There was a little bit of a bid into gold, even in the face of the dollar strength, but it wasn't really enough to hold up and dress up the gold mining names in any significant way. But they were definitely one of the stronger groups on the day, and one of the only ones that closed positively on the day. All right, folks. As always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for tradesight.